It's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's WWND.
Wrestling with Neurodivergence, you dumb whores.
And we're coming to you from the birthplace of Roderick Strong.
Ooh, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I'm Amanda, and I have ADHD.
I'm Lisa, and I have autism. Our ref Gary is out of town.
Boo.
So I will be your guest referee.
Ooh.
Let's get into it. Today we're going to be discussing the October 2nd episode of Dynamite.
Ooh, and it was a special one.
It was. It was the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite.
They're going to kindergarten, baby.
Yeah. But before we start that, we are going to do a little bit of housekeeping. Last week, we said that Nigel, at the end of his match before he tapped with Bryan Danielson, said, F you.
Oh, yes.
It has been confirmed by Nigel himself that he had said, thank you.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either.
It doesn't make sense.
I think that our theories are thorough, they're good, but we will say for the record that we stand corrected.
Fine.
Yeah, whatever.
I think Nigel is a poor historian.
Exactly.
But if whatever makes him sleep at night.
Yeah. All right. We start the episode someplace. Who knows? We're outside. And we see Marina, Pac, and Claudio. They're facing the camera. Mox has his back to us. Pac is in wrestling gear.
Per usual.
Yeah. The rest of them are dressed, but Mox has his shirt off. Pac says, war is upon us. Now's the time to choose sides. And then Claudio says, I'm still the same guy. So is Mox. I don't understand what the problem is. If you want to talk to me, you know where to find me. This is your home. We still have big plans for you, Wheeler. Claudio is still not believable as a heel.
No, I still think he would be the guy that I would go if I were a little kid and I was lost. That's a dad vibe.
Right.
He's going to help me.
I think he needs to maybe change the shirts he's wearing to black.
Yeah, because white is like, symbolically like pure and
hero-ish,
innocent and whatever.
Yeah.
And
I mean, because look at
work.
Hangman. Hangman's wearing all black right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he needs to do something because even the white, like the tank top, like I thought that would make it, no.
A little edgy?
Yeah, it's not.
It isn't.
I mean, my kid wears tank tops like that under his shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not edgy. I mean,
he tries to be.
He tries real hard to get a reaction.
He does.
And I love him, but he's a sweet boy.
Yep.
Which I love. Like, that makes my heart happy. And I think Claudio is a sweet boy.
He is. Marina then steps forward and she said something in Moldovan.
And I stand by, I would not approach her. If I were a lost child, nope.
That is very fair.
As an adult, nope. I'll go to Claudio every time. I don't care how tall he is. I think he'll hold my hand. I don't know. Marina, she'll spit on me.
Yeah, maybe.
I just, no, I can't.
Mox then steps forward and says, I prayed every night you wouldn't win that AEW belt, Bryan, but you did, so here we are. I'm going to have that belt. You're going to give it to me one way or another. There are going to be casualties. He's going to give him an opportunity to die a warrior's death and to be buried on his home soil. And October 12th, which is Wrestle Dream, he's going to officially relieve Bryan of his duty.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. So my takeaway, intense. Very intense opening.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. I really enjoy that Mox is growing a beard.
Yes.
That looks very nice on him.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Yes. How many Diet Cokes would you give it, Lisa?
Oh, wow. Nice segue, Amanda.
You're welcome.
I would give that. Oh, we are entering. He was shirtless too.
And he had tight pants on.
But not as tight as the closing pants, but they were, he's still looking really good. I have put a lot of thought into this. I'm going to go 11 out of 10 Diet Cokes.
Ooh, right off the bat.
Yeah, we're opening strong.
We had high hopes for this one.
We did.
I mean, you can't really get any better.
No. Maybe someday,
it's
but not yet.
Off the chart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is the 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, well, they did it up.
Yeah, they did.
They dressed fancy for the anniversary.
Yeah.
They wore their finest attire.
Yes.
To woo Lisa.
Yep. He grew the goatee out.
Yep. It was very nice. Excellent.
We now have a match, Will Ospreay versus Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Will came out and he's still wearing the United Empire gear, the green.
Yes, the green.
And Ricochet is still in the AEW colors gear.
Mm-hmm.
You and I decided, Amanda, that they decided to use new gear and update it, the men anyway, when it smells too much like balls.
Yeah, because I've noticed that they do have some outfits that they rotate through. And I was wondering, like, how frequently are they washing and when do they decide
to wash
or when to like change it up? And I think it's when it starts to smell like balls.
Yeah, I think that would be a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
But
I also feel like Darby, you would think that he would probably smell like balls, but I really feel strongly that he smells like really clean laundry because he has no consideration for his body, but he does have, like, his clothes that he wears always look freshly laundered, and he takes really good care of his hair. Like, it's always like very properly groomed to make it like, it's never like, man, he's gotta like trim those ends. That like is looking real weird, like, because it's growing out funny. Like, he takes care of it. He's on top of it. So I really think that he smells like nice laundry.
I could see it.
Yeah.
And even though some of his clothes are torn,
he takes care of them.
It seems as though they are
with tape, but whatever.
It seems as though maybe they are intentionally torn.
Yeah. No, I think he still takes pride in his appearance, even though he is totally fine with destroying his internal organs and soft tissue and all of those things. But
musculoskeletal.
Yes. Yeah. We all have our own things, I guess.
When the wrestlers are staring at each other before they start a match, when they're doing that face-off, I wonder what they're thinking.
I don't know. I would personally, if I were a wrestler, this is what I would do. I would love to give a nice compliment.
Really?
Yes. Because I like to give compliments.
That's true.
And two, I feel like it would be very disarming. If Will would have gone over to Ricochet and been like, you know what? You have a great nose. I think that if someone were to walk into a plastic surgeon's office, you would be one of the options of, that's what I want my nose to look like after. What would you? I feel like you'd have a hard time trying to beat the crap out of somebody who just told us that you have a really nice nose.
You'd want to give them a hug, maybe.
Right. Or like, your gear looks really great.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally doesn't smell like balls today.
Yeah. Like, congrats. Or your balls don't smell so bad. Good for you.
I'm going to grab them a lot during this match.
He did accidentally grab them.
Yeah.
Will did.
Like right.
It was not an upper thigh issue. It was the balls.
It was square on.
Yeah. But he did.
They recovered nicely.
He let go immediately. He was very, thoughtful in that manner. But it was like, whoa. Ooh. That was not. Everybody's was like, oh, it just hit the upper thigh. No, he did not. Absolutely not. That was the crotch region.
Yeah, it was.
For sure. But anyway, yeah. So also, I was very impressed with their high kicks. I felt like with the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, they could all try out for the Rockettes.
Oh, yeah.
With their high kicks.
Yes.
They would put them to shame. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not actually big into fishing, but we do live in the Midwest. And I thought that Will's pants looked like they could be a beautiful fishing lure.
Yeah.
How shiny they were. And the colors. So.
They did also, when they first started out and they were doing mirrored movements, they did look very coordinated.
Yes.
Much like synchronized swimmers.
Yeah. Do you think that their flippy-doos that they do you think that would translate to diving?
I don't know, because is belly flopping in a pool the same as like belly flopping on a human?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Also, when they like belly flop on the mat,
right?
I feel like that would suck.
That's got to suck.
Like, what would be worse? I don't know. I've never belly flopped in the pool because I don't like to swim. And I don't like jumping into things.
Understandable. We both think the refs go through a lot of endurance training.
Yes. Who was the ref?
Rick Knox.
He was like really into it. He's like all over the place. Yeah. How do they not get in the way?
I don't know.
Because
you feel like you make a terrible ref.
I would be a terrible ref because one, I am not good at hiding my reactions.
You do. When we watch, I hear a lot of, oh, geez, Louise. And oh no,
like, oh my goodness,
yep.
What are they doing? So I would constantly be like, oh no, don't do that. Oh no, watch out, that's a terrible idea. But also I'm kind of like a puppy where I get under your feet.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly like walk in front of people or veer off. Like this week at work, I met with new people and it was very awkward trying to go into the door because it was one of those situations of like, are you holding the door for me? Are you holding the door for you?
Right.
I'm not quite sure when I should enter. So I made it weird.
That's okay.
I always do. But
That's the best times, though.
I would be a terrible ref because I would totally like walk right in front of somebody when they're trying to do something and everyone would injure themselves because they have to like stop abruptly because I tripped on my foot or something stupid.
It happened.
Yeah. So yeah, I do feel like the refs probably have a lot of endurance training and cardio.
They need to, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, both men's shoulders were down, so it came to a draw, a double count out. But Tony Khan allowed more time, only for Takeshita to come out and attack Will. And then he attacked Ricochet, which caused the end of the match due to a disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
And fans were not happy with that, audience in attendance.
No, they were mad about everything.
Yes, they were. Takeshita's pants, I thought looked comfortable if I had to wear them.
But they looked like Aladdin's pants, except dressier. They were a very weird balloon shape.
That's true.
So I'm not sure what was going on with them.
He then walked off Takeshita with the international title.
Yeah, he looked very pleased with himself.
Yes.
Very pleased. Maybe because of the comfortable pants.
That could be. Well, let me give you the ref rundown.
All right, let's hear it.
Rick was right in there. He was hunched over. He stayed out of the way, which I don't think would be a very easy thing to do when you're dealing with Will Ospreay and Ricochet.
No, they were all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping everywhere, diving on stuff.
He gave good side-to-side motions.
Mm-hmm.
My takeaway for the match, it was a great match. I am hoping, and from what I saw today, this is going to come true. There will be a 3-way match between Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita at Wrestle Dream for the international title.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. I love it.
So I thought it was a great match.
I also thought it was very entertaining, and I really like when they do teamwork. I know for some people they think that's kind of lame, but I love a good synchronized moment.
Yeah, it is very good.
Mm-hmm. I also really love to think about how they coordinate it, like when they get together and plan, like, okay, let's do this. And I know like it's not like a middle school girls sleepover, but like that is how I imagine it in my head, and that is what makes me happy. So
you got to do what makes you happy.
We're gonna continue doing that.
That's fine. Thirstometer. Oh, let's see. I'm going to go 10 out of 10 Diet Cokes.
Ooh.
I mean, you had Will, you had Ricochet, and then you added Takeshita.
Yeah.
It was a Diet Coke dream.
It really was.
So should we close out this match?
Let's do it.
We now go backstage where Renee is with Mercedes Moné and Camille, and Mercedes is going to show us Dynamite's best moments, and they're just clips of Mercedes.
Of course.
Renee was looking really great in like an ivory satin ensemble.
Yeah, she would be the bride that would look good in ivory.
Yes.
Not everybody does. I tried an ivory dress. It was awful. I don't care what that sales lady said. It was atrocious.
I was just not overall impressed with Camille and Mercedes, what they were wearing.
No.
I was definitely not a fan of the glasses Mercedes was wearing.
No, it gave me eye strain just looking at it. Because it's like, you can't see. So it's like, how is she like positioning her eyes to?
Yeah, they're very impractical.
Yep. I don't like that.
I personally don't like wearing gold.
Yeah.
Whether it be jewelry or clothing.
Yeah. Gold is a tricky one.
Right. It doesn't really work with my skin tone, the undertones of my skin, rather. So I wasn't really a fan of the shirt Camille, or the top Camille was wearing.
I just don't like it when it looks like it could possibly, like, if the breeze blows the wrong way.
Oh, it could like fly up.
Yeah, like I would just be I don't care about other people, but for me, I would just be like, oh gosh. And I would be worried the whole time. So. Yeah.
Everything just looked very fussy and impractical. But then we were talking and thought like most of the things that the women wear, especially in ring, look fussy and impractical.
Yes.
And I'm just, ugh.
Yeah. No, I don't love it.
And I kept focusing on how the New Japan Women's Strong title, the purple on it, clashed with the purple.
Oh, yeah.
That was in Mercedes' outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times she does really well. Like, even though her stuff like seems like really really fussy and a sensory nightmare for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It's okay to look at.
Yeah.
But
Tonight
I
just
didn't
was
even
not
like
it.
her wig.
Yeah. No.
Like, it was, nah.
Tonight just was not it for me.
No, it was, no. Sorry, dude.
No. MVP showed up then and gave Mercedes his card and says perhaps they should talk. So, okay.
He's just coming up all over the place.
Yes, I am wondering what kind of faction he's trying to put together.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that what's going on?
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would make sense.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's a faction, or maybe he's just...
Maybe he's trying to make a book club.
That would be an even... Could you imagine that book club?
What would they read? They read like some Brene Brown and like The Power of Vulnerability.
Maybe, or The Secret.
Or like Stephen King. Like,
Oh.
I don't know. Like, what would they have for a book club? That would be fascinating.
Yeah. Thirstometer. I am going to give this one a 6 out of 10.
Wow, that's generous.
It's because of Renee.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I would like to know Renee's skincare routine.
Yeah.
Not that I'll do it because I don't follow through on that.
Neither do I, but I'd still like to know it as well.
Just like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
I won't do it more than like 2 days, if that.
Right.
But
and you'd be
it's
lucky
fine.
if I do it twice a day, but I'll try.
I wash my face in the shower.
I did. Those face wipe things you can get are amazing for,
Neurodivergent tip.
Yay. That's the neurodivergent tax.
Yeah.
Paying extra for those face wipes.
Yeah, because it
Saves you time.
We grew up in the 90s. All of the face wash commercials, you're like splish splash in water all over the freaking bathroom.
Everywhere.
And I was like, I would try to do it because I thought that that's what you were supposed to do. And I'm like, this is terrible.
I hate getting all that water everywhere.
Right, and it never stays to just your face. It's on your arms. It's down your shirt.
Chest.
It's on your hair. And
it's everywhere.
You might as well just frickin' dunk your face in the sink.
Wrist cuffs now that are
I know.
terry cloth. Do you want some? I have an extra pair.
I would love some.
Yes, I have an extra pair.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I'll bring them next time.
Did other people do that though in the 90s? Like, I legit thought that was what you were supposed to do.
I don't know. I had a whole routine where I put out a towel and everything because I was like, I cannot. I have to have a towel.
It was awful, but it was just like, well, that's what they show in the commercial.
So I guess
that
I
must be what you do. How just stupid. Thanks a lot, 90s.
Anyway.
It's a hot mess. But I digress.
So now we go to the guns. And they're trying to do a promo with Renee.
And they're like throwback to the 90s, but in the best way.
Yes.
Because Colton had his one little hair tendril that was just so delicately coming out of his pony.
Yep. And they were both taken out by Hangman.
Of course, because he's
on
a hot
rampage.
Ticket.
Yeah.
He's just every which way.
Yes, he is. I love that Colton does that little tendril of hair.
Yes, and I would love to hear from our listeners if they did the tendril of hair. And did you do just one side or did you do both?
Mm-hmm.
Because Lisa and I prefer...
Did both.
Yes, we prefer symmetry.
Yeah.
And your hair wasn't done until you pulled those little pieces out.
And that was back when I was really trying hard to be more of a performative female instead of just non-binary.
Yeah, and I must have had longer hair back then. I don't know. I don't remember. I always had short hair.
But you tried. You did say you did put it up with little...
Oh, I had little ponytails in the front. Mm-hmm. They were my little palm trees. They're so cute because I can't stand having hair in my face. So when I was in sports, I would always pull it back. So I don't understand girls now or people with long hair now and they play sports and their hair's just all over the place and they don't tie it back at all whatsoever.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you doing? How are you functioning right now? It just... That's a me issue. I'm not trying to push it on
anybody else. No. Thirstometer. We have an 11 out of 10.
Ooh, number 2.
Hangman.
Oh, yes. Do you love how I already I forget it immediately?
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm like, that hair tendril really did something for you. Just kidding. No, it wasn't the hair tendril.
It's all Hangman.
It was. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
That tracks.
Yeah.
And then we have what? What's next after?
We have TV time with Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith. Chris Jericho came out with the bright, blinding yellow blazer.
Gross.
But at least we did not get the squid shirt trunks.
No, we got sparkly, sparkly, sparkly pants
Yes.
with clashing sparkly boots.
Yes.
Because they were different types of sparkles.
Yes, they were.
It looked like the glitter/gem aisle at the craft store barfed on him.
It really did. Because the sparkly was just too much. The boots on the sparkles were close together and they looked bigger.
Yes.
And
they were like more like gems. And then the other
Yes.
one was more like where it's like glimmery, where like
Yes.
it's like interwoven into the fabric,
Mm-hmm.
which is preferred because that's not itchy then.
And
But-
they were smaller and further apart.
yeah.
So it was like just too much going on. And then you added the bright yellow.
Which had white buttons, which doesn't match.
And then he had like a white pocket square.
right, but his pants were black, and I don't feel like that matches then
It's just
because it's a different
It was-
types of.
it's just too much.
It was like Peeps bunny up top, and I don't know what on the
Lounge
bottom.
singer
Yes.
downstairs.
Yes. Yes, a lounge singer downstairs is definitely what it was. And also, how come he's the only one that gets to wear sparkles? Why doesn't Bill ever get to be sparkly? He's a sparkly fella.
Yeah,
I feel like he could be.
exactly.
Like, why don't we let him sparkle? I don't like him, but he should he deserves some.
He deserves to shine.
Yeah, he sure does. And also, what did Jericho said like 2 Spanish words?
He said ocho and
nueve.
yeah.
Ooh, like that doesn't make you smart. Watch PBS Kids and you'll know ocho and nueve.
Yep.
But whatever, it's fine. I guess, sort of. I also was concerned about the trees in the background. Like they were
Yes.
very unattractive trees. And why is it that learning
tree?
why does it have to be a deciduous tree? Why can't it be like a coniferous tree? Like why doesn't anyone pick a pine tree or a palm tree? They all have branches.
Right.
So why can't it be a different kind of tree? Why does it always have to be the tree that you draw in first grade?
I don't know. That's a good point.
It's just, I don't know.
Is that like, because I mean, I know they have to figure out how to put Brian Keith's face on an apple and like stick it on the tree, but
Okay, so it's probably an apple tree, and I just answered it in my brain right now. But still, it could be something else.
right. They could just have an apple someplace. I mean, whatever.
Okay, it was probably an apple tree, and that's why they did it. Okay, so it does have
So
some
we
sense.
worked it out, but whatever.
But
still,
I still
they
like
could have a
in
variety
general.
of trees.
Whenever they have tree things, it's always the same kind of tree.
Yes, it is. And they could have a variety of trees
Branch
out there.
out
Yeah.
to a different tree.
I like that pun that you did there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I love puns.
The conglomeration came out and Rocky has the new t-shirt on. And we felt like he would look really good if that t-shirt was just fitted a little bit more.
Yeah, it was not the right size.
I mean, he looks good all the time.
He does, because he could also be along with his friend Ricochet on the plastic surgery billboard of
Mhm.
this is what I want to look like when we're done.
Yep,
Because he's a beautiful human.
he is.
But yeah, the t-shirt wasn't really doing him any favors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And Kyle looks like he would be like a middle schooler. And I love it.
Yes.
Like he just wears little khakis and little t-shirt and like bops around.
yes.
I just love
That's
Kyle.
exactly it.
He's got like that wholesome energy of
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a really good friend.
Exactly.
And he makes my heart happy.
You didn't think Mark Briscoe had much of a neck.
He really doesn't. Like, and I don't know if it's like because like some muscles in his back are like overdeveloped. So he looks kind of like hunched over a little bit.
Or if that's just how he's like standing
Yeah.
for that character.
Yeah. Like,
Or-
I don't know. But it looks like he's got a lot of tension.
Mm-hmm.
And like his shoulders are hunched up toward his face.
Yes.
And there's like not a lot of neck action going on.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably couldn't join Roddy in being neck strong.
That's true. The word of the day is consequential, and according to Merriam-Webster, it's of the nature of a secondary result, indirect, or consequent, oversupply, and the consequential plummeting prices, as an example. Or having significant consequences, important. For example, a grave and consequential event.
Ooh.
And also Chris Jericho, according to us, it's a tall order, not a tall task.
Right? See, he thinks he's so smart and then he doesn't even say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Saying 2 numbers in an Espanol does not make you smart.
Yes, and what brought up the word of the day was Chris Jericho telling Mark, "You can't beat me, Mark, but your brother Jay maybe could."
That was not called for.
No, and the greatest thing I heard last night was Amanda saying, "You get his name out of your dirty mouth with your slutty shoes and your slutty pants." And I held it together the best I could because we were doing this lo-fi because our ref is out of town. So I was recording everything we were saying on my phone, and I was listening to the playback, and I burst out laughing at home today when I heard that. It was so great.
And Mark did tell him to get his name out of his dirty mouth later. And I'm like,
he did.
Oh, his damn mouth. He said damn mouth.
Yep.
But I was like, see, Mark and I are on the same wavelength.
Yes. And it was so good. But just like, you get your out of your dirty mouth with your slutty pants and your slutty shoes.
I stand by it.
And he said, you'll never be as good as Jay was. And Mark told him, Jericho, you're going to get a Briscoe Brothers style ass whooping, and that's consequential.
He did such a good job of like bringing it full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it.
Yes.
I love the word of the day.
Yes. I feel like I always learn a little bit more, or I need to go look something up just to make sure it's a word.
And I just like to hear it come from Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be as delighted with anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
He's got the riz.
Bet.
Oh my God. If any of the teenagers.
We are so old.
If any of the teenagers we knew heard this right now, they would
cower in embarrassment and shame.
They would probably not talk to us for a while.
Ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. My takeaway, I really think it's time for Chris Jericho to take some time off.
Yes.
And just maybe come back later or not at all.
Yes.
I feel like the heat he's getting right now is go away heat.
Yeah, he's no longer like delightfully ridiculous.
Yes.
Where it was like, I hate you, but like...
It's funny.
Now it's just like, ugh, you're just gross.
Yeah. And he tried to get the nuclear heat. I mean, he did get the nuclear heat with bringing up Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
And I know for the most part, they get each other's permission before they do stuff like that, but it's still felt. See, I'm the one with the words this time. Mm-hmm. It still felt icky.
Right. Like, I feel like there's just certain things that even if it would
further the story.
If it would further the story, like, it's still
just a no-go.
It's still a boundary.
Yeah.
That's not something.
I feel like the dead relatives are worse than, like, the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at least
grief is so complicated.
Yes.
You know, like it's just really complicated. And even if you think you're doing really well with something, the waves can come crashing back really fast. And then you feel like you're drowning.
Like when Swerve did the whole I broke into Hangman's house angle, you knew there wasn't actually a kid in the crib.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as far as Jay Briscoe is concerned, that affects more than just Mark.
Right.
That affects Jay's kids,
his wife, his other family members, his other friends. Like
it's a whole
everything.
Spectrum of people.
Right.
And it's like, oh.
And I mean
maybe Jericho is friends with all those people, but still.
But I feel like also, is it one of those things like where, and maybe I'm reaching, but you know how you would have, like, is he creating a hostile work environment where, you know, he asks permission and then does Mark actually feel comfortable saying, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with that? Or does he feel like I have to say, yeah, that'd be great. Like, that would be a great way to like further the storyline.
I don't know.
Like, can you fully be honest
like
when you're having that conversation?
I honestly thought that would have been a great time for Bill to step up and be like, whoa, this is not cool, Jericho.
Right.
And maybe turn on him.
Right.
I was actually watching. That's why I didn't hear the get your name on your slutty, that part. Yep. But it didn't happen. So I was like, what's it going to take?
I don't know. I don't love him though.
No. Anyway, that's our takeaways. Thirstometer. As far as Diet Cokes go, because we're going to have to separate everything, we get 9 out of 10 Diet Cokes for the conglomeration because of Rocky Romero and Kyle O'Reilly. As far as the Jericho group, we get all the Diet Pepsis. Per the usual.
Yes.
Now we are someplace outside, and Darby Allin is just sitting on a car.
Yep, much like a middle schooler.
with a rock.
Yeah.
And he is talking about riding a Metro bus, and there was 3 guys laughing at him, and this is back in the past, and they were spitting at the back of his head. That's why they were laughing, and how it was killing him inside that he wasn't doing anything about it. And then he stood up to them, and how it felt so good to do something about it. So when Mox said that Darby wasn't ready to be the face of AEW, all he could see was those 3 guys on the back of the bus. And Darby said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And he's starting to lose faith in himself, but all he can do is fight. He's putting out an open challenge to anyone who wants to build their name off of Darby Allin because he's got nothing left to lose.
I felt like I was in a therapy session.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like he was just spilling his guts. Like we finally made a breakthrough.
Yes.
And he's finally like,
yes,
I'm just going to let it out.
Yeah,
I've held it in forever.
Exactly. Because then he took the rock and just started like beating it against the car hood.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah. It was interesting. Also, based on what he was wearing, like
the pink jacket.
The pink jacket was looking a little dingy, and it made me think maybe you don't smell as much like clean laundry as I want you to.
The pink jacket needs to be laundered.
Yes, yeah. But
maybe it was just the lighting.
Maybe. I mean, it tracks with he kind of looks like a middle school, high school boy, like that he's wearing the same zip up hoodie all the time. Because
that tracks with the neurodiversion thing though, too.
It sure does.
I do the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. Like I find a nice hoodie and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to wear this forever.
Yes.
And then I wear it until
I
get
apart.
sick of it. It's much like my favorite foods. Where like, I will eat cereal 3 times a day for the next 4 weeks, and then I will not want to eat that cereal again.
I am currently doing that with a certain brand of oatmeal and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep, there we go. But I will say, Darby he has very nice teeth. So I think he has really good oral hygiene. So even if his sweatshirt probably needs to be washed, he takes care of himself the other ways. And I don't feel like he'd have bad breath.
I would like to think he does not wear cologne.
I don't think he does.
Only because I have like sensory issues with
I think he would
cologne.
Just wear deodorant.
Yeah. Or antiperspirant / deodorant.
Yeah. I feel like he smells nice. Like just clean.
Like a forest, if you will.
Yeah, like just like a forest. And sometimes he sounds like maybe an eagle. Yeah.
Soaring above that forest.
You betcha.
Thirstometer. 9 out of 10 Diet Cokes.
Ooh. Way to go, Darby.
Yay. Oh. Okay. Now we have a match.
Ooh.
Against Hangman Adam Page versus Rock Hard Juice Robinson.
Oh my God.
Our referee is Aubrey Edwards. Amanda, you were wondering if Hangman wears fringy pants on regular non-match days.
Well, right? Because I feel like when you have started wearing fringy pants, like, wouldn't it just feel like something is missing when you don't have the fringe?
The old razzle-dazzle.
Yeah. Like, what else is he going to do? Like, I feel like he's just like, oh.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing. I can't like
there's a gentle breeze and there's no fringe.
There's like no like
blow.
Rustling of the
fringe. Yeah.
Like just I hope that he embraces it.
So Juice's movements remind us of 2 separate things. First, a velociraptor and a chicken.
Yes.
That you would see in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Also, like a teenage boy who has just gone through a growth spurt and who hasn't quite figured out how to move in his body yet, but Juice has adjusted to it, which is good.
Right.
Because it keeps him loosey-goosey.
But he does. Like, he looks like when you go to a middle school basketball game and it's like, oh, you haven't quite figured out your coordination yet, have you, buddy?
Yeah, like that kid is not ready to be 6'1".
No. Yeah. But there he is.
Just
working through it.
I think it works for Juice, though, being a wrestler.
It does. Like, his velociraptor ways are endearing.
Yes.
And it's just delightful. Just in general. He snagged Tony Storm. So
yeah, those
velociraptor moves must be doing something.
Heck yeah. It looked like Hangman got beer poured on him by Juice. And that would be an ick for me because it dries and it's sticky.
I would have been done. I'd have been like, oh no.
Yeah.
Match is done.
Yep.
No, thank you. I gotta go shower now. This is gross.
We keeping track of colors of trunks that wrestlers should not wear, and white is one of them. But for some reason, white trunks work for Juice. And we're thinking it is because they are just, how do we say this? they're very opaque, like a very
Yeah, like it's not like tidy whities where it's kind of they're a little worn and you can kind of like see
right.
like you could maybe catch a glimpse of where the butt crack might be.
Like if you got Juice's trunks wet, you wouldn't be able to see through them necessarily.
They would still be, they would look the same.
Right.
There would be no skin showing.
Also, he is wearing black trunks underneath those.
I think the layering really
helps.
Is the key.
Does it make sense when I say opaque and then try to explain like it's a darker white?
Yes, because there's like a bajillion shades of white. So like it would be, I want to say more saturated.
Yes,
but
like it's very white.
But is it, I don't,
like
can white
bright
be saturated?
And very.
Yeah.
Like we know what we're talking about.
Like if we thought of clouds, they're not the clouds where it's kind
they're
of.
not cumulus or wispy or anything like that.
They're like I'm a first grader and I'm going to draw a cloud and color it all in white.
And it's going to be
and there's
really
no
white.
see-through and you're going to be able to sit on it.
Exactly.
That's it.
We also love that they have a belt.
Yes. Because they're like just tiny little trunks and he's got an actual belt with belt loops. And they are absurd, but I can't imagine him with anything else.
I know.
Like, I think he would be silly in black.
Yes.
Be like, no, those are not whimsical enough for you.
Well, even when he wears like the longer tights, they're whimsical-ish.
Yeah, like I just
there's just nothing serious.
I just love it. I do want to, I would be curious to know what would his hair look like if he went to like a salon and got like a curly cut and they like deep conditioned and used the curl gelée, whatever. From, you know, like what would that look like? I don't know, but I would be here for it.
We really want to see Juice and Toni Storm have a reality show.
Oh, that would be amazing. Although, what would we do if they were boring?
I think we'd still watch it, just for the off chance that they were purposely acting boring.
Oh, that would, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, I feel like I would just be fascinated. Like, even if it's just like, oh, they went to Costco and bought paper towel.
Yeah.
I'd just like, ooh, what brand did they get?
Exactly. Like, what do they use?
What supplies do they think they need to keep in their cabinet?
Yes.
So I think it would be a hit, no matter what.
Hangman won, and then he took his belt and put it around Juice's neck and hung Juice over the top rope.
I did not like that.
No, you did not. Switchblade Jay White runs out for the save. You thought Switchblade looked like a tap dancer.
He did. He looked like he would just like, I don't know.
I think it was
like the cut of like his pants and his shirt and like it was all
he's
black.
Very lean.
Yes,
also.
like he
just came back from injury.
Yeah,
so he's like all rehabbed. And usually when they've been injured, they like work on building more muscle.
Yeah, I thought he looked like a beautiful dancer.
I'm just glad that Jay White's back.
Ruggles was too.
She was, and she was when Hangman came out. She was just like, it was.
She would not stop.
No, she wouldn't.
It was several minutes of her like rolling on the floor
and just and oh my gosh,
it was so funny. Oh, Dougie Dogs.
I will tell you about Aubrey. I was not too impressed. She allowed shenanigans before the match. Before they even got in the ring. There was a lot of that.
She's not in control.
No. And she missed that low blow by Hangman that allowed him to win. Like, Aubrey, come on.
I wonder if she was nervous.
Maybe.
I mean,
She had the unhinged cowboy and just
and Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Need
always.
we say more?
Yeah, he's always every which way. So, I mean, yeah, herding cats.
Yeah. I mean, that is a great analogy for it. All in all, I thought it was a great match.
It was very good. It was very entertaining.
I'm glad that Switchblade is back. I am really looking forward to seeing Switchblade take on Hangman because I feel like that's where that's going to go.
Yeah.
Because I believe the AEW Instagram account had like a backstage segment promo with Jay White.
Oh, very nice.
And it was very good. It's very good. Do you have any takeaways?
This is not entertaining or fun, but for the field that I work in, I really would just appreciate it if they didn't like hang.
Oh, yeah.
People,
Understandable.
That is
the triggering aspect.
Yeah. Like that's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And it's really hard to watch that. And I know it's I know it's not real and I know all of that stuff, but like, it's just those, like, sometimes those little things where it's like, ugh, we don't know what other people have experienced, and that's yucky.
10-4.
Yeah, so.
I understand that. Thirstometer. I mean, this is an automatic 11 out of 10.
Ooh, it's because of Juice.
And Hangman and Jay White.
I knew it was from Hangman, but I wanted to say Juice.
Well, and Juice.
I just love him.
So do I.
And he has the tiniest nose.
He does.
It's so little, so funny.
So should we wrap this match up?
Yes.
We are transported backstage or someplace with Renee. She's with Jack Perry. And Shibata just basically goes forehead to forehead with Jack Perry. And Google Translate basically tells him he wants a TNT title shot. And it looked like Jack Perry like walked away, and then all of a sudden like Shibata goes to walk away then, and much to Renee's peril, Jack Perry comes back and it like jumps Shibata from behind. And then after Shibata's down, he says he accepts.
Mm-hmm.
So one, Shibata looks super comfortable in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yes. He even had nice shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that match.
Mm-hmm.
I like both of them.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I got on that.
Yeah, that's about it.
Thirstometer. I'm going to say 8 out of 10.
Pretty good.
We now go to Bryan Danielson, and he tells Mox that this isn't about him. It's not Mox's championship. It's not even Bryan's championship. It's AEW's championship. 5 years, and they've broken the entire system that wrestling was built on. We liked his shirt. It basically said Dynamite 5. The Dynamite 5.
It was very nice.
Mm-hmm. He talked about how Okada broke his arm and fractured his orbital bone. They've wrestled twice, and they've both won one match apiece. And then he explained that the Continental belt is on the line for only the first 20 minutes, but the AEW belt and his career is on the line for the entire time, and he wouldn't want it any other way. Okada has done some real physical damage to Bryan by a total accident.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get older.
Yeah.
It's very easy to damage.
Right?
Your little body.
And it was a good promo. He answered Mox and what Mox had to say.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Thirstometer, 8 out of 10.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Now we have a match between Britt Baker, DMD, and versus Serena Deeb.
Just Deebs.
Deebs, yeah. Ref is Paul Turner. Britt's got those suspender things on her outfit.
Yeah, but they were like extra, like her pants were kind of loose too. Like I was convinced it would be very easy for someone to get their foot stuck in there.
Yeah.
And then they'd be hopping around with a foot in your pants, looking ridiculous for both ends.
Yes.
So, I mean, I feel like it's... I don't know if they need to like work on personal protective equipment. There's occupational hazards all over the place with these women's outfits. Mm-hmm. But what do I know?
Serena has the cotton candy colors on.
Mm-hmm.
But then she had, on her robe, it had like this yellow belt.
Yeah, it was like bright yellow. Like it was not...
And then it had like yellow tassels.
Yeah, it wasn't... I don't feel like the yellow was like in the same colored category. Like
color wheel type.
Yeah, like, you know how they have like muted colors?
Yes.
Or they have like bright... summery, whatever. Like it didn't. It felt like the yellow was in on a different wheel somewhere else, and it didn't go together. Because yellow and teal or whatever color her robe thing is do go together very well. Like blue and yellow are opposite on the color wheel, and they're complementary. But it was not the right kind of yellow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It reminded
to go with
me
cotton candy.
It reminded me of Jericho's gross yellow jacket.
Yes.
And it was like...
Maybe that's why we didn't like it.
Maybe. I don't know. It was bad. It was like a yellow runt.
Mm-hmm. And at least Britt puts on a glove before she puts her hand on someone's mouth.
Yes. And they're very, like, swanky.
Yeah. Now, whether it's a clean glove, we don't know.
Probably. I don't know. I'm going to say that it's cleanish at the very least because she is a professional dentist.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel like she has some respect for that.
The crowd seemed kind of not in it.
Yeah.
And I did like that Serena's boot, one of them said death down the side of it. But again, we felt like that was more fitting for Marina Shafir.
Yes. Yeah.
Britt's gear were, of course, the Pittsburgh Steeler colors, and the back of her top had the Steelers diamonds,
Yeah.
which is great. She's from Pittsburgh. She's obviously a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
We are not.
No.
Whatever. Britt won, and then when she was saying hi to her parents or whatever from the ring, Serena attacked her. Queen Amanada came to Britt's aid, and she looked great in like leopard print bottoms, a black top, sparkly tights.
And like really high boots.
Right.
She's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. This is my hot take. I think she's prettier than Mariah May.
Absolutely 100%. I give her 10 of 10 Diet Cokes.
Right. My ref rundown. Paul did his job.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't notice him.
I think that's the point, isn't it?
Right. I was just sort of like, okay.
I feel like that's the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's their job.
Yeah. My takeaway was it was a match.
Yep, it was. It filled some time.
Yeah. I was glad to see Queen Amanada. It's I don't know how I feel about the pairing of her and Britt Baker. It almost seemed a little awkward and forced.
Yeah.
But I can see that they're trying to maybe keep that storyline with her versus Serena going.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that plays out.
I mean, isn't Queen Amanada also really, really brilliant?
Yes.
So maybe they're just pairing them intellectually.
That could be. Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. Thirstometer. 10 out of 10 Diet Cokes from you for Queen Amanada.
Yes.
This is Amanda's first time on the Thirstometer. So that was from Amanda. I'm going to go 10 out of 10 Diet Cokes as well.
Very nice.
Yes, Queen Amanada. Britt Baker's not
She's
so bad either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we close out this match?
Yes, please.
Renee is backstage someplace with Hook to ask him about the attack on Taz that happened earlier in the day, which was reported on social media for storyline. You thought he had on a...
He has a really cute shirt. Like, I feel like as a kid, he would have been like my son, where spooky season was his favorite.
Yes,
which meant Halloween.
Yes, it had a jack-o'-lantern and a ghost.
Yeah, it was so cute. I just love it. I love all of his little outfits.
And so he was talking with his heavier accent, which is weird for me to say because I know some listeners have commented that we have accents.
Yes.
I don't hear it, but that's fair.
I've been told by people I work with that I have a very heavy Wisconsin accent. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you.
Oh, gosh, no.
Like, so are you. Because they also did. Oh. And they're just like, you're like me. And I'm like, okay, I do.
Oh, geez, Amanda.
Geez there. I know.
Oh,
I'm such a mom.
You betcha.
I do say you betcha.
But
say,
but not like this.
Not usually. Not typically. Like, that's not my default. I will do it sometimes to be silly, but
yeah, just to be silly.
You know, I don't meet my kids' friends, and be like, "Oh dear, look at you, you little cutie face." I do say those things, but not like that.
Anyway, Hook says he'll find who did this to Taz, and he's coming for them. Okay, that's my takeaway. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's gonna do something.
Thirstometer. I am gonna go 9 out of 10 Diet Cokes. It was Hook.
I just want his t-shirt.
Yeah, that was a good t-shirt.
I love a good t-shirt.
Now we see Christian Cage, and he's dressed in all black.
But he has a new black jacket.
Yeah.
And I can't decide if his jackets are ugly or... I don't know. They're just weird. And I don't know where he gets them. I mean, he has that one that's kind of like a military type jacket, and he has it in multiple colors. I don't know. He has the weirdest get-ups, I guess.
That's okay.
But whatever, it's fine.
Christian says if you were in awe of what he's done in the last 5 years, you haven't seen anything yet. Soon he'll have it all. Hook, line, and sinker. Amanda, you had a wonderful line for this.
I did. So Christian is, he does the whole patriarchy and father, whatnot. My takeaway was father figures like him are what keep me in business. And I stand by that.
Yes. I've got nothing for that promo. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. My thirstometer rating. Yeah, we'll go 7 out of 10. Now we have Mariah May talking to Renee. And Renee tried to bring up how Mariah has had a tumultuous time because there was Yuka and Willow, and then Mina came back only to go back to Japan to team up with Toni Storm, but Mariah cut her off before she got to saying...
Mariah's rude.
Yeah, to say that she teamed with Toni Storm. But if you've been paying attention to social media, you'll see Toni and...
They have teamed together.
Yeah. But Mariah cut her off and said that Willow is the definition of failing up. She loses every title that she wins.
Isn't that the point?
I guess.
Like,
yeah.
No one's supposed to keep it forever.
I know.
Mariah does not understand sharing is caring.
No, not at all. Her top that she was wearing, Mariah May's, I hope that she had an inner lining or her breasts were going to be super sweaty because it was
right?
It was like
pleather,
vinyl-ish
vegan
looking
leather.
Yeah.
And it had like those weird sleeves that were sheer, but it was
actually that
gloves.
Was the gloves.
Yeah, like
it was separate from
was
the
it separate?
Top. Yeah, it was like
it
the
looks
gloves.
like a freaking nightmare.
The gloves were what had the one over your head part.
Yeah, I don't understand how you put that on, or how you wear it, or like why you would wear that.
I don't know.
And then her skirt didn't match. Like her skirt was like a white tennis skirt looking thing.
Right.
Like it was totally different genres of clothing. It was much like Jericho's outfit.
Yeah.
Where it's like Sunday school teacher
on the bottom
and
clubbing on the top.
Yeah. Okay, so she wasn't Sunday. People they're probably not wearing that short.
Tennis at the country club on the bottom.
Yeah. And then
clubbing on the top.
Yeah, it was very confusing to me.
All I know is Willow confronted her, Mariah May, and hit her.
Which she deserved.
Yes. Security broke them up and Christopher Daniels told Willow that they're not doing that there.
Whatever, Christopher.
I kind of, honestly, I sort of missed parts of that promo because I was like,
Yeah, it's all right.
My takeaway is I'm looking forward to Willow like beating her.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I like Willow.
Me too.
Thirstometer, 9 out of 10 for Renee and Willow.
Very nice.
Now we have a match.
Ooh.
With Private Party versus the Iron Savages. Oh my God, is that Private Party?
Not anymore.
Versus Titty City.
They still are Titty City.
Yes. The ref is Paul Turner. There's a different intro theme for Private Party. No more shots.
No like hump in the air.
Nope.
None of that. They're very serious. They're like work party now.
Yes. They have different gear. It's purple and blue.
I don't feel like the colorway is serious, but we'll give it to them. It looks nice.
I think that's because it's like a brighter blue, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
it works.
Yeah, the purple and the blue go together.
Yeah. But like, it's not like I'm a serious person. I'm still fun.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's kind of what they're going for.
Right, because they still are technically Private Party.
Right. Now it's just we have like I feel like it's more of a VIP feel.
Yeah.
Like it's like you need to have an invite to the certain club and like you only know.
Or I definitely have to have an invite. Even though we're Private Party.
Maybe it's like a speakeasy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It's an underground party.
Yeah.
You did say they don't party like it's 1999 anymore.
No, they don't. No.
It did during the match cut to Stokely watching the match backstage on TV and he was clapping when Private Party was doing well.
Stokely wants to be invited to the party.
Yeah. I think Stokely wants to manage the guest list at that party, maybe.
Yeah, he wants to be the planner. Party planner.
Yeah. I feel like maybe black and silver would be a better colorway.
I feel like yes. Maybe it's...
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe tone the blue down a little so it's not as neon-y.
Yeah.
If that's even a word.
It is now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But it went really fast.
It did.
There was no messing around.
No. They were all business. Much like their new personas.
Yeah, less mullet.
Private Party won.
No one even got to go to Titty City.
No.
They didn't even entertain that.
No, that was a bummer.
Yeah. Sorry, Titty City.
I
know you were looking forward to that.
I was.
Everybody does.
Yeah. Private Party said, Isaiah from Private Party said they'll be the next AEW Tag Champions. And they called out the Young Bucks and they did call them Matt and Nick.
They sure did.
Matthew's pearls were huge.
They totally looked like what you would give like a 4-year-old to dress up.
Yes.
Where they found something and they're like, please, can I get this from the dollar store? And you're like, whatever.
Yeah, they look plastic at this point.
Yeah.
Please don't fine us. Jack Perry jumped Private Party from behind, but then Shibata came out to help Private Party. Party. Christopher Daniels came out, and he wants to give them an opportunity to piss them both off, meaning the Young Bucks. So on Rampage, it'll be the Young Bucks and Jack Perry versus Private Party and Shibata. Christopher Daniels was wearing a beautiful blue tie.
It was a very nice blue.
It worked really well with his shirt.
Yeah, he's a sharp dresser.
He is. Paul Turner, as referee, was just working. He's been working his butt off all night.
I wonder if they get like a bonus, like end of the year bonus.
Right? He did a great job.
I mean, it was very straightforward.
Yeah, it really was. Straight up like business match. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Private Party and this new direction they're going with.
Yeah, I want to know like if they're going to do more corporate events.
Yeah. Will they handle the EVP business?
Less like
shots.
Yeah, bad champagne from
more Cristal.
Yeah, better quality alcohol. I don't know. I'm saying this as though I drink. I've never been a drinker.
Same.
So don't let us fool you. I'm sure we didn't.
Yeah, right?
'Cause I'm pretty sure that this is not how people talk.
We're talking out of our butts right now.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know anything about
what we're talking about.
I don't know any alcohol, anything.
No, we've never partied.
Not in 1999 nor 2024.
No, not ever.
No, I was no one invited me to those things.
Me either. No.
No, because they knew I would yell at them. I would say, this is a poor choice. We should not be doing this. We signed an athletic code.
And I'm learning, that I was just autistic. Yeah. And I didn't know how to make friends or have friends. Okay.
I just kind of fell into the... I don't know. I guess I was likable in some way. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I didn't get invited to those parties. I went to exactly one, and I was...
You were not having it.
No. I was like, what is everybody doing? I am so disappointed.
It's okay. There's a reason the thermometer is Diet Coke.
Yes.
Speaking of the thermometer.
What was the thermometer that round?
We are going to do 8 out of 10.
Wow.
We had Matthew, Shibata, Jack Perry, Christopher Daniels.
Okay,
we had Titty City.
And though we didn't get to go to Titty City.
I know. Should we wrap this one up?
Yes, please.
Ooh, now we're backstage with Renee and
She's
MVP.
Really just like she was getting the rounds in.
She was busy.
She was earning her paycheck.
MVP has an announcement, but Prince Nana cuts him off. Nana was looking great. He had a silver suit jacket on, and we really liked his panther pendant.
Yes. Oh, it was very nice. It was just enough bling.
Yes.
He really knows how to add the sparkle.
The accessory.
In the exact right amount.
Nana says he used to be a wrestler and he'll lace up his boots in Pittsburgh to take on MVP. MVP says he doesn't deal with complaints, but he does. And then he introduces Shelton Benjamin, who is head of the complaints department. Now, I am familiar with Shelton Benjamin from the WWE time.
I have no idea who this person is.
And Shelton's pants don't match his tie. They are...
Oh, yeah.
Right? There was the brighter red tie with the darker maroon pants.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
That's when we were like, close, Kyle, but you're way off.
Yes. Yeah. Because it was not, I don't know. People, did they not pack accordingly this time around?
Maybe they did, but they just aren't neurodivergent.
Maybe they think, I don't know. I always had a hard time when people would be like, oh, it's really cool to mix patterns. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Some patterns.
How do you know when you can?
Maybe, I don't know, but some people do. And
some people could pull it off, but I was just like,
I'm not one of those people.
I'm going to not try that. Yeah, so maybe that's the issue. I don't know.
I am wanting to see where this whole MVP situation is going. And I want to know when Bobby Lashley's coming over. I hope Bobby Lashley's coming over.
I don't know who that is either.
I like him very much.
I'll find out.
That's my takeaway.
Very nice. I just love Nana. That's my...
Oh, I love Nana as well. Thermometer. We got 8 out of 10. Nana and Shelton and Renee. This brings us to our closing match, our main event. We have Bryan Danielson versus Okada for both the Continental and AEW Championship. A referee is Bryce Remsburg. Bryan Danielson is wearing the gear with the gold scales and the shiny red that we like.
I do like that one.
Okada is wearing the flowy robe that I adore with the black trunks that are shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I really want that robe.
It is very nice.
It is.
I would love a flowy robe.
Mm-hmm. Okada is so tall, but he's all legs, and that's why you can tell he's so tall.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But like with Kyle Fletcher, maybe we can't. He's like
Because it's
deceivingly
proportional.
short.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like his torso and his legs are
Like the same
length.
Yeah, like he doesn't, it's not obvious. So like, oh, you've got legs for days.
Right.
It's like, oh no, you're proportional.
Yeah, because on his Hey EW YouTube with RJ City, he was talking about how people don't expect him to be so tall.
Yes.
But he's like 6'5".
Every time I see him, I look it up and I'm like, oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And I think Okada's the same height.
He is. But you can tell he's
because
he's
he's
a
just
giant.
legs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd.
I love how Okada looks so nonchalant when he wrestles, almost to the point of being bored.
Yeah, he's just doing it.
He's just like, yeah, I'm here. You're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
His hair does look surprisingly healthy for being bleached.
It does. I don't know what he uses.
I don't either. Brian was looking super bendy.
Yeah.
He probably does yoga.
I would guess so.
I hope so.
I would think so. I think that like really helps with your mobility as you get older.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So during the match, near the end of it, Claudio and Pac show up.
Yeah. And they were just like perched.
Yeah. Brian won, but then Okada did the Rainmaker on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Okada flipped Pac off, and then he flipped Claudio off, and he walked off with his title, the Continental title, like an official business lady.
He was. He looked like it was like, I don't know, like one of those movies in the 80s where it's like all about women empowerment. And it's like, I have a job and I'm going to break that glass ceiling and I've got my cute little business suit skirt thing on and I have a briefcase.
Except he's got a belt and his cute little shorts.
Yeah.
Claudio and Pac hold Brian by the arms.
And Pac still has wet hair.
Yes,
but the rest is dry.
Yes.
It's baffling.
It's like the opposite of what it has been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually he's just
all wet.
Damp all over.
Mm-hmm. And Mox comes out. He's not in the black jeans anymore. He's in very tight jegging, like
yes, they were very tight.
Blue, very bright blue pants. Very tight. Holy cow. They were like Hangman's jeans, where like the jeans he wore the one time when it was like, put a quarter, if he's got a quarter, and you could tell if it was heads or tails.
Yep.
And Mox says, none of this is about me. None of this is what I wanted. I am fighting for something much bigger than myself. Everything I am going to do is because I have to, because no one else will, because no one else can. If any of this was about me, I would have put you out of your misery a long time ago. And then Wheeler comes out with a hammer, and it's like, he hesitates, and he looks at Brian, he looks at Mox, and it's like, oh, whose side is he gonna, is this when he hits Brian?
What do we
do?
do?
You know, because he looks, like he's possessed at this point. And so then he goes after Mox with the hammer, but then Claudio actually holds him back and restrains Wheeler while Brian then gets beat up. And finally, they leave the ring. Wheeler gets a microphone and he says he's sick of being treated like a child by Pac and Claudio. He's his own man. He can make his own decisions and fight his own fights. And you had said someone went to therapy and did role play.
That's right. Someone was like empowered.
Yes. So on Title Tuesday, it will be Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta versus Pac and Claudio. So Bryce Remsburg did a pretty good job being ref. That's my notes for that. My takeaway, I am like, what is Mox talking about?
I don't know, man.
Is this related? Like, I want to know where the storyline is going. I am more intrigued than ever. What is happening? What?
Do you think Renee knows?
Probably. Like, he is fighting for something much bigger than himself. What is he fighting for?
I don't know. Social justice?
Maybe. And sure. It's just like,
it's bigger than us, Lisa.
I know. And I've seen like people say, well, maybe it's related to MVP, or Shane McMahon. And it's like, God, I hope not.
I don't know.
So yeah, maybe it's related to that stuff.
I don't know, man.
It's just very...
I want want to say that, again, this is me not having any idea,
Yeah.
that he really wants a specific ice cream treat at the concessions.
Maybe that is, yeah.
And he wants to revamp concessions, and this is how he gets it.
I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm. That's my theory. You're welcome.
That's a good theory.
Thank you.
I want to know if Wheeler is going to turn on Brian.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't either, but then there's part of me that's like, I hope he does. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because what are they going to do with the trio's titles if he doesn't?
I don't know.
You know?
This is why it's easier for me to think it's a concessions stand issue.
Yeah. Thirstometer, 11 out of 10.
Ooh. Well, Moxley was back.
In those pants.
The tightest pants ever.
Yeah.
I bet Renee had to help him get in there.
You had to spray those on.
Right. Oh my God, what if they did like the paint on?
Get a stick of butter.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Should we close out that match?
Yeah.
All right. Bitch count, 0. CTE alert, a 0. Maybe there were some. I kind of spaced out.
Yeah, we didn't really pay attention to it.
We were not really into it. Sorry. Who's your wrestler of the night?
Brock Hard Juice Robinson.
And why is that?
I just love him. He's just whimsical and he just marches to the beat of his own drum.
Nice.
And I just appreciate it.
Mine is Darby Allin. Because he talked about his bullying. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I feel like a lot of us neurodivergent folks can identify.
Absolutely.
Like, I know I can. So, yeah, I appreciated that.
Yeah.
The ref of the night. I chose Rick Knox.
Ooh.
He did a great job with Ricochet and Will Ospreay. He stayed out of the way. He had great form.
Way to go, Rick Knox.
Who's your D-bag of the night?
My D-bag of the night is Chris Jericho.
Oh, why is that?
Because he just is a douchebag. Just always. Just can't stand him. And that outfit just like hurt my eyeballs. And that's enough for me.
My D-bag of the night. And just so you know, listeners, we do not know who each other's D-bags of the night are. We keep these separate. We do not discuss it beforehand because we like to be surprised. My D-bag of the night is Jericho.
Ooh, do tell.
The outfit.
Yes.
And he brought up Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Briscoe. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that also.
But yeah, I literally had Jericho, the outfit, and bring up Jay, even if he did get permission.
Absolutely. I don't like him. Creates a hostile work environment.
Yeah, the outfit was a sensory nightmare.
It absolutely was.
It's time for our neurodivergent fun fact.
So, my fun fact is, I don't know if it's really a fact.
It's a fact.
It's information. Neurodivergent information, I guess.
Yes.
So, one thing that we can do to make life a little bit easier for communicating with our neurodivergent friends, it's titled social accommodations. But basically, use the person's name in conversation to kind of like indicate that this is something that you should respond to. So like, especially like if you're in a group setting or if you're like in a virtual meeting or something, just say, hey, Lisa, blah, 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 blah. So that way it gives us that forewarning. So we're not like called out or, it feels uncomfortable. And sometimes we don't even know if we're part of the conversation. So it's helpful to let us know by using our name. A lot of us struggle with eye contact. So even if you're like, well, I was looking right at you, maybe we didn't notice because that was really uncomfortable. So use our names.
Yeah, I feel like it also helps us remember names.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because it's very uncomfortable when it's like you're in a meeting and I just did this week. Everybody introduced themselves and I immediately forgot. And I really like it when we wear name tags because then it's like, oh, see. But if someone were to say like the name, it'd be like, oh, okay. Because sometimes we need to hear it a couple times to kind of process and let it sink in. So use the names.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a reason we have them.
Yeah, all of that applies to me. I know because I am not always comfortable with eye contact. I don't always know if I am I don't always assume that I'm part of the conversation.
Right. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so just use our names. That's why we have them.
Good information. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. As always, please feel free to leave suggestions or any type of segment you would like to see us add. reach out.
If you want us to say happy birthday,
Yeah.
whatever.
If you would like a sticker, let us know. Contact us. Follow us. We are on social media. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/WWND pod. Hit us up on Instagram, instagram.com/WWND pod. We're on Threads at WWND pod. You can also email us at wwndpod@gmail.com. Again, if you want a sticker, contact us on Instagram, send us a DM, or email us.
And we'll reach out to you to get your information.
Yes.
Do not put your information on the interwebs.
No. We're very active on Threads, usually during Rampage or Collision, and we just love the fan interaction. That's where it's at.
Come be our friend.
Yeah, so we really look forward to chatting with you next time. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Have a good one.
Dead air.
Thank you for listening to WWND, Wrestling with Neurodivergence, a Podcast Ahoy production. The producers of WWND are Lisa Rudd, Amanda Putnam, and Gary Putnam. Recording is done by Gary Putnam. Editing is done by Lisa Rudd. Check out our social media for updates on upcoming pods and for clips and other media referenced in this episode. Links and information can be found in the episode notes. Thanks again from everyone at the WWND family.